slide show up here. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so the three main periods of ancient Egypt. The scholars divide the history of ancient Egypt into the periods of the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. And although power passed from one dynasty to another, the land generally remained united. Remember, a dynasty is a ruling family. During the Old Kingdom, Egyptian kings, who were later called pharaohs, organized a strong centralized state. Pharaohs held absolute power and played key roles in government and religion. The Egyptians believed each pharaoh was a god. However, the pharaohs were also seen as human. People expected their pharaohs to behave morally and judge the pharaohs for their deeds. Pharaohs of the Old Kingdom ruled by means of a bureaucracy. The pharaoh depended on a vizier, or chief minister, to supervise the government, and under the vizier, various departments looked after tax collection, farming, and the all-important irrigation system. Thousands of scribes carried out the vizier's instructions. Below the pharaoh, aristocrats or nobles were powerful locally. And beneath this aristocracy and a small middle class of merchants and scribes, most of the Egyptians were peasants. The Great Pyramids were built during the Old Kingdom. The Egyptian pharaohs built many necropolises, or cemeteries, containing majestic pyramids in the areas surrounding Memphis. And today the best known are the Great Pyramids that still stand at Giza. Tombs within the pyramids were considered homes in which the deceased would live for eternity. Because the Egyptians believed in an afterlife, they preserved the bodies of their dead rulers and provided them with everything they would need in their new lives. Building each of these pyramids took so long that often a pharaoh would begin to build his tomb as soon as he came to power. At this point, please pause the video, review your notes, and then answer the question in the Google Doc, how was Egyptian government structured during the Old Kingdom? Okay, welcome back. We're going to look briefly at the turbulent Middle Kingdom. The Old Kingdom declined or collapsed because of power struggles, crop failures, and the cost of building the pyramids. After more than a century of disunity, new pharaohs reunited the land, ushering in a new era, which they called the Middle Kingdom. The Nile didn't rise as regularly as it had in the past. Corruption and rebellion were common, but still, strong rulers did organize a large drainage project, creating vast new stretches of arable or farmable land. During this period, the central state ended the powers and privileges of the regional aristocrats. In addition, Egyptian armies occupied parts of Nubia, a gold-rich land to the south. Traders also had greater contacts with the peoples of the Middle East and the the Mediterranean island of Crete. About 1700 BC, foreign invaders called the Hyksos occupied the Nile Delta region. Although the Hyksos took over the governance of Egypt, there was little conflict between the new rulers and the Egyptian people. The Hyksos awed the Egyptians with their horse-drawn war chariots. In time, the Egyptians mastered this new military technology. The Hyksos, in turn, were impressed by European civilization. They soon adopted Egyptian customs, beliefs, and even names. Finally, after more than 100 years of Hyksos rule, new Egyptian leaders arose and established the new kingdom. So this was brought to the end of the Middle Kingdom. Please pause the video, review your notes, and answer the question in the Google form. In what ways was the Middle Kingdom turbulent? Okay, welcome back again. Now we're going to look at the New Kingdom. During the years of New Kingdom, a number of powerful and ambitious pharaohs created a large empire. At its height around 1450 BC, the Egyptian Empire reached as far north as Syria and the Euphrates River. The New Kingdom proved to be an age of conquest that brought Egyptians into greater contact with people in southwestern Asia as well as other parts of Africa. During the New Kingdom, Egypt's first female ruler took charge. Her name was Hatshepsut, and she exercised all the rights of a pharaoh. From about 1472 BC to 1458 BC, she encouraged trade with eastern Mediterranean lands and along the Red Sea coast of Africa. Her stepson, Thutmose III, took over as pharaoh once he reached adulthood. He was a great military general, and he stretched Egypt's borders to their greatest extent ever. Much later, Ramses II became pharaoh of the New Kingdom. He ruled for 66 years, so from 1279 BC to 1213 BC. During that time, he pushed Egyptian control northward again as far as Syria. He may be the best known of the Egyptian rulers because he boasted of his conquests on numerous temples and monuments, though his greatest reported victory may not actually have taken place. During the reign of Ramses II, Egypt fought a number of fierce battles against the Hittites of Asia Minor. After years of fighting, the Egyptians and the Hittites signed a peace treaty. This was the first such document in history known to have survived. The peace treaty declared that Egypt and the Hittites shall be at peace and in brotherhood forever. To the south of Egypt was Nubia. Nubia developed along the Nile, and for centuries Egypt traded or fought with them. From Nubia, they acquired ivory, cattle, and slaves. During the time of the New Kingdom, Egypt conquered Nubia. Ramses II used gold from Nubia to pay charioteers in his army. Nubians served in Egyptian armies and left their mark on Egyptian culture. Much of the Egyptian art of this period shows Nubian soldiers, musicians, and prisoners. We come to the decline of Egypt. After 11,000 BC, the power slowly declined. Invaders such as the Assyrians and the Persians conquered the Nile region. In 332 BC, the last Egyptian dynasty ended as the Greeks took control. In 30 BC, Roman armies displaced the Greeks. Each new conqueror was eager to add the fertile Nile Valley to its growing empire. This book comes to the conclusion of Egypt as its own empire. After ending the video, review your notes and answer the final question in the Google form. What role did Egyptian conquest of others play during Egypt's New Kingdom? And then submit your form.